Hi, I'm George Lucas. Yes, really, I'm 30 years old and the year is 2025. I just came up with a great idea called Star Wars. I think it could be big, like maybe 1 million people, maybe even more. It's really big, it's a great idea, but the studios refuse to pay for it. So I'm going to social and I'm going to build a community so I can fund my independent movie. So I go to TikTok and to YouTube and I start making, shorts and other stuff. And I say, listen, there's this great story that I have. It's about a farm boy and he's going to fight the entire empire and he has these powers. You don't know what they are. Does that work? Does that convince you? Now these cool robots. One is funny and the other one just bleeps. Does that work? Does that work? And there's this huge guy, like all furry, and he goes, "Rrrr." Does that work? And you've got that evil guy, because you need a villain, and he plays it like this, right? Did it convince you? Anyway, this farm boy, he has a really great moment at the end, but I can't tell you about because spoilers. Are you following my YouTube thing? Are you following my TikTok? Yes, 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 yes. Still no, 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 no. Anyway, there's this guy, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I can't tell you anything about him. And also, I can't tell you why Darth Vader is a secret, but I'm not going to tell you anything about it because spoilers. Does that work? It works, right? It works. So guess what happens to George after making hundreds of these videos? Nothing. He has like maybe a few more followers because it's really impossible to sell. We know he has a great story, but it just sounds like everything else, and it's just an author trying to sell his stuff. So maybe you're the next George Lucas, maybe I'm the next George Lucas. It's really hard to sell your story on YouTube or TikTok or whatever it is. It's hard, and we writers and artists are really terrible at it anyway. So I'm George. I need a following so I can get my funding for my independent movie. So what do? I have two options. One is try to go viral. So how can I go viral? Keep in mind, I'm low budget, right? Low budget. So I can't actually show you lightsabers, but maybe I can have that kind of low like effect, like in the dark and a bit of flight. And maybe it's 2025, so I can use Midjourney and stuff like that. Maybe I can animate kind of cool stuff. Does that work? Does that work? Or maybe you can show Darth Vader using the Force, right? Something cool like that. And maybe it kind of goes viral. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it shows Obi-Wan Kenobi going, these are not the droids you're looking for. Did that work? So he has lots of options. You can search for the stuff that's really best without doing any spoilers and see if it catches on. Or option number two, he can try to build a community. And in building a community, not around his great thing, because that's whenever you try to sell your own thing, that's for you. For you, yes. You. But when you build a community, you have to do it for them. You have to put them ahead of you. You have to help them, not help them help you. So, what could George do today, if he did it today, to build a community? Like, the first thing that comes to mind maybe is, talk to people, do a series of, people who are actually fighters for the light against the dark. And that can be ordinary people, doesn't have to be hugely famous people. So he could talk to real life Jedis, He could create cosplay events where the community enjoys it because it's fun. It's events. You do it with kids, you do it with adults, do it with teenagers. It's fun. So how would you do it? How would you, if you were George, try to sell Star Wars today? How would you build a community around Star Wars? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you would do if you were George.